Okay, your son Keith teaches ESL, and what have you seen? Something you'd expect. What he talks about it once in a while. What does he say about his international students? Reading Verdi, the international students reading Verdi.
Yeah.
What have you heard? Yeah, what have you heard about that?
Well, they I know the one was Chinese student girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was couldn't quite visualize that a dog could predict weather.
Yeah.
That how could the dog know? How could he know the dog would eat grass that it would rain? He said, you know, they would take it too literally. That doesn't sound right. And then he said, even then it said it wouldn't rain for 2 years. So that got me a little discussion there, you know, on how that dog would be able to.
Yeah.
And then some are even would talk about children learning in the school they go to.
Mm-hmm.
And that created quite a discussion on that, because no matter what nationality you are, that would mean something to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as all the how many different faiths, how many different nationalities that would read about God's creation, like respect for life and land, and how that would connect with many different religions. They all would agree with that, from Hindu to Muslim to Buddhism to
Christian?
Huh?
Christian?
Yeah.
Shinto?
Yeah, Christians, it seems like I was surprised how that would kind of relate to everyone's faith.
Mm-hmm.
God's creation, it was just basic, you know. You look out the door and there it is. And because we learned that on the farm, we knew where animals started out, and they were born and raised, and many that. So that was a miracle happening all the time, from the plants coming up in the spring. And that's another thing that kind of, I never thought that would relate to so many different people, many religions and everything. It's kind of a basic, kind of a...
Well, how do you think your parents would feel about now, the way you grew up, if they saw people from many different faiths and countries reading your book? How do you think your parents would feel about that?
Well, they're probably just as amazed as I am. That I think they'd be real interested in it, because they were. I know my dad read a lot, and he was interested in what's going on in the world, where he never had a chance to actually meet people from so many different countries. He never, but it never, you know, it's always kind of a positive attitude about that. It wasn't,
no prejudice or anything.
No. And they wouldn't say, oh, you know, they wouldn't say anything negative about some fellow from Congo in Africa reading about our farm life out there back in the 20s and 30s. And even like relating to our belief, Norwegian Lutherans. And there was a common denominator there between faith, I think.
Yep.
That's what I would say. And oh no, that would be a positive. I think they'd be very, very interested in accept that. It'd probably be just something they never expected, even never even came to mind.
But yeah, they would just go along, and that'd be great.
Yeah. Why not everybody just having a common denominator and think positive about each other instead of saying, well, those, being a negative, saying that our Norwegian event is the first. That's the only one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they ever came to that. That was kind of a ridiculous attitude to have,
Yeah.
We never even. Can't remember ever sitting there thinking that even, because you didn't grow up with that. You never, so